For an arborist, no 2 days are alike. One day might be spent high in the branches of a 100-year-old oak, inspecting its health, and the next might involve planting saplings in an urban park to green up a city block. Arborists, also known as tree surgeons, are the caretakers of our trees, the towering sentinels that give us shade, clean air, and a connection to nature. Their work is a blend of science, manual skill, and a love for all things green. It's a profession that requires physical strength, knowledge of tree biology, and often, a bit of bravery. The day begins early for an arborist. It might start with a hearty breakfast, because climbing trees and handling heavy equipment burns a lot of energy. The first task of the morning could be something as simple as inspecting a neighborhood tree for disease or as complex as planning the safe removal of a massive, storm-damaged tree that's leaning precariously over a house. Safety is paramount in this profession. Trees are beautiful, but they can also be dangerous, especially when they're sick, decaying, or damaged. Before tackling any tree work, an arborist gears up, strapping on a harness, donning a helmet, and double-checking the ropes, saws, and other tools they'll need for the day. Working at heights, sometimes 60 to 80 feet above the ground, requires careful preparation and precision. One arborist, Tom, recalls an unforgettable job removing a giant dead tree from a local park. It had been standing for over a century, and its trunk was as wide as a small car. You could almost hear the tree groan as we climbed it, Tom said, but it had to come down. It was a danger to the playground below. The job took 2 days, with careful cuts made to ensure no part of the tree fell unexpectedly. It was sad to see it go, but the park planted 5 new trees in its place. After climbing up into the canopy, an arborist might spend part of their morning pruning branches. Pruning isn't just about aesthetics, it's essential for the tree's health. Dead or diseased branches can weaken a tree, making it more vulnerable to pests, diseases, and storms. Strategic pruning helps the tree grow stronger and can prevent the need for removal down the line. In fact, studies have shown that regular pruning can extend the lifespan of a tree by many years, making this one of the most important tasks an arborist performs. Trees, like people, can get sick. Tree diseases and pests are a significant concern for arborists. In North America, one of the most notorious pests is the emerald ash borer, an invasive beetle that has devastated millions of ash trees across the continent. Arborists are on the front lines of combating these pests, using everything from pesticides to biological controls to protect vulnerable trees. An arborist's knowledge of tree biology is crucial when diagnosing these issues. They know the signs of trouble: a patch of discolored bark, the telltale burrows of wood-boring insects, or leaves that are yellowing at the wrong time of year. Sometimes, saving a tree is as simple as improving its soil conditions. Other times, it might involve more complex treatments like injections of nutrients or insecticides directly into the tree's vascular system. Arborists don't just work in the countryside or forests. Increasingly, they are critical to urban environments, where trees are essential to city living. Studies have shown that trees in urban areas can reduce temperatures by as much as 10 degrees Fahrenheit, cut energy costs by shading buildings, and improve mental health by providing natural spaces for people to enjoy. Urban trees can absorb up to 48 pounds of carbon dioxide per year, making them essential in the fight against climate change. This afternoon, an arborist named Sarah works in the heart of a bustling city, where she's part of a team planting new trees along a busy street. It's not just about digging a hole and dropping in a sapling. Urban tree planting requires careful planning. The arborist has to consider the available space, the soil quality, and what type of tree will thrive in a city environment. The choice of species is critical. Some trees, like sycamores or ginkgos, are hardy enough to withstand pollution and compacted soil, while others might struggle. Sarah's team has decided on honey locusts, a tough, fast-growing tree that provides great shade and can tolerate urban stress. Once the trees are planted, Sarah knows she'll be back in a few months to check on them. Young trees need a lot of care in their first few years, including regular watering, pruning, and protection from pests. But in time, they'll grow into majestic additions to the city's landscape. Of course, not every day is spent working on living trees. Sometimes an arborist's job is about preserving history. Take, for example, The ancient olive trees of Greece or the towering redwoods of California. These trees have stood for thousands of years and are living monuments to history. Arborists who work with these ancient trees treat them with the utmost care. In fact, the world's oldest known tree, a bristlecone pine in California named Methuselah, is estimated to be over 4,800 years old. Protecting trees like Methuselah is not just a job, it's a responsibility to future generations. By the end of the day, an arborist is usually physically tired but mentally satisfied. The work is hard, but knowing that their efforts are helping to preserve the natural environment, and, in many cases, improve it, is deeply rewarding. One arborist, reflecting on their career, said, "There's something magical about working with trees. They outlive us, they watch the world change, and we're just caretakers for a while." For arborists, every tree tells a story. Whether it's a giant oak that has sheltered generations of families, a sapling just starting its journey, or an ancient tree holding centuries of history in its rings, arborists are the ones who make sure those stories continue. Their work is a blend of science and passion, a job that not only touches the earth but also reaches the skies. As the poet Joyce Kilmer once wrote, "I think that I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree." And for an arborist, every day is spent writing those poems, not with words, but with care, dedication, and a deep love for the green giants that sustain our world.